live stream offline.
Then yes, because it went offline. We stopped it.
Okay,
Now
so will
we're
it come
going
back? Okay, so it's coming back up. Hey guys, how are you? Good to be with you. And what I'd like to show you. So a while ago on our YouTube channel over here, we were talking about the fact that there would be a slight pullback and progress decay in crypto. So what's actually been happening is since all of what has gone on, we've had a bit of a breather on crypto. Let's have a little look at Bitcoin. Let's have a start. So this was on the 4th of April. We said, listen, it's going to go a little bit sideways. It's not going to be parabolic anymore. You're going to go down. You're going to sideways. Certain alts might actually come off a little bit. And it's going to be slightly more tricky and dangerous time to be on. So let's start with some analysis here with Bitcoin. And here we go. So just to show you, here was our parabolic move. In fact, I'm going to do some drawing for you. So we're trying a few new tricks here with good equipment. That'll be really, really useful. So what I've got here is I'm going to draw and show you where we came in parabolically. And that was over here on our left. So I've just looked at this period post hitting our key targets. So if you have a look at that, there's your parabolic entrance. That saw a major macro upside HVF target be met. The purple line is our target, $4,993. The 5,000 key level of significance confluences exceedingly closely for it. That was that key target being met. Then we had a small little squeeze out of the toothpaste, little bit more coming along. And you can see that squeeze coming in there. There it goes, and there it goes. What did you get? You got another little, hey, we've made a big go. We've really had a run. We've really made the big 5,000 level. We've come from right down, bowling out, potential bottom. Not 100% guaranteed, nothing ever is, but potential bottom. We're now going to squeeze a little bit more out of this toothpaste tube for you. And you can have a break run from here, and you're going to get a little target make up top there. If you're nimble and quick, you would have got that. You would have taken your target. You would have had your stop there. That would have been your risk right there, drawing on the Wacom, and then boom, up to there. There would have been your gain. Nice risk to reward indeed. And then what happened straight after that? Bang. Proper slap in the face, as we tend to call it. You get a real sell-off. A real sell-off. First significant real sell-off post your target decay period, and bigger, more intense. So that took you below your key level of significance that we had here at the 5,000 and your big macro target 4,993. Okay, that's saying, hey, don't push your luck too far. First little warning. So I've drawn a circle around that, and I've drawn this back line here, and you'll see another interaction there. That's 2 touches. It's not the most that you get, but it's quite a justified line along here, along the lows, 2, virtually a 3rd there, 4th, close to a 5th there, and definitely a 6th there, plunge through and rally. That's what's been happening. So right now you're at 5082. Remember, when we did that clip on the 4th of April, there it was, up top here. During this event, we said there's going to be not much great to gain for you. If you traded the macro HVF and taken the bulk off there and maybe got in and taken one more move up to there, that height point was just in and around the high 300s, just sub 5.4. You can see 5.4 over here, running all the way through up to there. So you're about 5.360, you're about 5.330. Now, since then, all this time has elapsed. Yep, and you're sitting now at 5,081. 5,081, $300 lower. So when we released that Crypto Market Sniper YouTube on the 4th of April, we were saying, be careful here. There's the 4th of April. Be careful, you might go up and down. There's going to be a lot of scope for progress decay, and you could be in for a lot of thrashing around with no great gain. Time elapse. You're still on risk. Do you lock out? Remember, many people get shaken out on the adverse moves, the down moves when they're longs. They don't trade with targets. They have no mechanism to know what the next high is. They're bullishly hoping. So in that essence, you've effectively got a 5,088 does $5,330 odd dollars, which is a great difference to have had. And in fact, you're no worse if you had closed the entire trade on the target made at 5,000. The only gain you would have had would have been this little amount of gain, $80, and you would have sat in risk on leverage paying fees even if you did that and you didn't take the extra little toothpaste squeeze out that was on offer. Other key points to notice in and around this. Now, I don't use indicators, but I do work on volume. And this is an OBV indicator below. So if you take that extreme high point, which would have been on the point of target being made, either of those 2 points, the absolute high of the candle or there, you can see that here we are here, but in actual fact, the OBV is now below that line. The OBV is below that line. And all that tells you is if you take a marker here, and you move it through to this point over there, what's in fact happened is even though you're no greater, better off at price, you are lower on your accumulated upside volume versus disaccumulated downside volume. So the OBV adds the volume on the up days and subtracts the volume on the down days. What's that total? What it's saying to you is the green candles volume all added versus these negative candles, particularly downs. There would be big moves there. You can see the effect it has on OBV there, and also since then to here, over there, down through to here, you're accumulating a lot of volume on the bear side. So that is, whoa, a little bit of pushback. So this has put you into a very slight and somewhat weak upside grind channel. Plenty of touches along the low, just the two across the top, but that is a channel. Now, we'd also said inside our community, which is over here, when we talk about crypto generally in our crypto general section, and I post looms, etc., etc. During the period that we just had over here, we actually did have a little wind up and we saw it. And we didn't take it, and it succeeded, but we didn't choose to take it. In other words, I'm talking about these gray lines here. So I'm going to clear all that out, and I'm going to highlight that. Little bit of a continuation pattern setting up in there. But because of this huffing and puffing and grinding, and we also had a very strong grind line through the lows there, very low across like that, we said, look, you're going to get a possible breakout at this juncture. Clear it there. That could indeed make that target. However, it is high risk, and we're kind of grinding along here. You dipped through that grind after you made that target. So you could have nicked that, but it was not advisable. It was high risk. And we say only do the high reward, low risk stuff, which has very high probability. In the end, you would have been lucky and you would have got away with it. What happened? Very strong slap down. The funnel withstood the first attack. That's where our stop is. You bounced, you sat on the other side of it, and then boom, second capitulation. So what's happened now is you've gone really weak. If you didn't take your money on your target, 100% of it, you're losing. You're losing because you're trying to keep squeezing that last little drop of toothpaste out the bottom of the tube after you've done it many, many times. Eventually, it ain't worth it. The juice, the toothpaste, whatever, isn't worth the squeeze. You've all got pretty clean teeth by now, especially with all that lemon juice and toothpaste. But anyway, here we go. So after that slap down, you've actually broken out of this channel, which was quite well supported, as I've already indicated. And even here with a bounce back, was trying to hold the line, but now you've dipped below it, you might return move. What's the key element? You've got to look at this. Now I've done inside this piece of price behavior for my premium guys, a loom where we also did volume by price, but it won't surprise you that there's a big amount of volume by price just in and around the 5K level, and there was also on our target level on key price. So you had two zones, and you actually had a bit of a void in between. So this is a very, very key level, trying to stay north side of the 5,000. We've had a sell-off, so there's quite possible we might dip below one more time here, run the 5,000, and then have a period of rally and base. So it's always ebbs and flows. We're now coming in just after some proper spank downs. So it doesn't mean if we are slightly cautious about the market that we're not first going to get some degree of rally, maybe flagging, maybe wedging, who knows. So, you know, it's not like we're calling for an immediate collapse. We said you've had a good run, you'll have progress decay, and in fact, you'll pull back a little bit. Just as a quick thought, let's run you past Litecoin. So since the 4th of April, when we spoke in and around here, whoops, let's do the draw tool. When we spoke on the 4th of April here, Litecoin was in this state. As you can see, a grind there as well, and also like that, and it's chosen and broken down. Now that's quite a difference. You're trading 78. If I get that panel out the way, you can have an idea of where it was on the 4th. And it's definitely lower. So the guidance there to have played good defense and to have taken some quick gains in and around these 98 levels would have been good. Let's clear that. You can see, in fact, you almost got to 100 if you were lucky enough to get the very high. You wouldn't have. You would have got somewhere here. But either way, you would have been banking 96. Now you're trading 78. So real pullback there. Not a head and shoulders. That is slightly higher. So it was a squeeze. But it was low slung. See that grinding channel there and there. Let's make that smaller. I didn't draw that very well, did I? Let's do it again. So you can see that grind along there and also along there. Kind of a 2-layer flagging setup. We always split the flag. There's often something in that. This had a nice little structure. First impulse and second impulse that gave this broke. It was actually in a rising wedge. And it could have failed. And in fact, instead of falling, it just did this, and the rest of crypto started winding up and pumped. So you don't always get a capitulation out of a rising wedge. Sometimes you can get a squeeze up. But this has done a lot, Litecoin, for a long period. So this is quite a high volume. You can see your OBVs also come down a little bit there. But generally, for this bigger time frame under review, it's still a bullish market. It's just that the warning of the 4th, this is what we were saying during that particular period over here, the warning here that progress decay would occur for a while has happened. So you probably wanted to play it a little bit safe. Okay, but at some point this will build a base again, potentially. I would say this is fairly high probability. This is a good trend. It's moved particularly well. Let's close that and get the bigger time frame under view. You can see this has moved pretty well indeed. It has already surpassed key levels that were a bit of a headache for it in and around there, and it's broken that. I'm not sure it's broken that absolute high, may well have done, in fact. So it's done quite well with its potential bottoming scenario, and providing the others and the God markets in the others keep not falling and just have short pullbacks, we can build a case for this being close to a bottom, but you can't say absolutely. Let's have a total market cap look. Again, the warning, roughly beginning of April, there's your 4th date. Let me get the calendar right there. The 4th round here, you've ground up and then you've been spanked down. So choppy, bouncy ride, quite a bit of uncertainty, and it's pulled back on quite a nasty. You've got a risk here now of double top, and you've got a weak grinding market that wedged for a while and also has made a channel for a while. So you've had essentially that. And you've got a level here that has picked the bottoms over there and there. What could we get? You could get again flagging and then selling off. You could get wedging and selling off. Or if we start to get rounded bottoming, we could base out and start creating further upside continuation patterns. So that can all happen in time, but it's going to be interesting to see what comes next. Okay, going back to Bitcoin to sign off. I'm going to close that. So we mentioned the OBV, which is your volume data. So this was a particularly interesting draw. You can see I wanted to highlight to you why this was such a critical level. When we did the draws for this, you can see your 5,000 and your targets, how they were confluencing here. And there we go. Let's get him back up there. You can see why we said careful now. Careful now. This is a big move that's been validated, and there is scope for pullback. But there you go. That's that channel, and that was the wedge within that channel, and you've had some degree of reaction. What happens next is going to be key. Do we stay quite low slung and bear flag rising wedges, or do we bounce back nice robustly and get a nice second impulse and then some gentle basing out? That is upside continuation. The weak continuation flagging or rising wedge could imply further revisitation before maybe we get a bottom, or who knows what comes next. I'm of the view that whatever happens, we'll either get a nice robust bounce not too far away. I think we need to revisit 5K and just sub and get a nice continuation set, which will set up future upside of this kind of variety that could be quite high momentum. But if we get those continuations, let's clear it. If we get this kind of weak response, a little bit limp-wristed, you could be digging a little lower down before any possibility of that basing out. Something to bear in mind, Bitcoin is a God market, your total market cap is a God market. Keep your eye on it. What goes on there will then allow you to see what's going to happen on those individual alts that have become of interest. So we just did Litecoin today. We do a lot more of this type of analysis. And we've really upgraded our streaming capability for our premium community, which we're looking forward to put out. If you want to find out more, you can go to our website. You can book a chat and do any of a number of things. If you're just curious, kick the tires. There's a mini series that you can subscribe to entirely available from the website. Okay, thanks for checking in. That's your crypto update. Progress decay, lots of chopping around, no great particular gains. That's been the mood since the 4th of April to next. Now it's time to see, do we base out and reset for continuation, or are we going to stab a little lower? Those are the key things, and the next period ahead will give us an indication of that. Watch out for bear flagging, rising wedges for potential further downside. Marginally lower lows, basing out in a nice rounded bottom. That could see a new base being built for further upside. Okay, thanks for checking in. Enjoy your weekends ahead, and God bless you all. Bye for now.